Today I would like to talk about our lovely planet, how plastic waste has a bigger impact than an atomic bomb, and how scientists and designers are coming up with new and innovative solutions to dealing with the problem of non-recyclables. So take my fin and come with me as we dive into my deep, deep design pocket and discover more about our plastic past and the greener future. Plastic, the bane of our lives. On one hand, one of the most incredible inventions in the history of mankind. On the other, one of the most devastating. Before we look at the modern day innovation and development within this field, we must first look at yesterday. What is plastic and where does it come from? Plastics are synthetic based compounds that can be moulded and formed into solid objects. In developed countries, around 1/3 of plastic is used within packaging and around the same percentage is used in the creation of buildings. Plastic is also used to create toys and furniture. It is a huge part of the automotive industry and you will find formed plastic in a vast majority of products within your household. It has been an essential part of the medical field, redefining and propelling innovative products and saving countless lives with implants and replacements. Throughout the world, a shocking 50 kilograms of plastic is produced every year per person, and that amount of production doubles every 10 years. It is everywhere. Earlier experiments into the plastic field were recorded as early as 1856 by Alexander Parkes from Birmingham in England, but this was not the plastic we love and hate today. The world's first synthetic plastic was created by Leo Baekeland in New York in 1907. That was Bakelite. Leo coined the original term plastics, but it was Hermann Studinger and Hermann Mark that pushed the science to another level. It's very easy to fall into the modern day trap of plastic products bad, natural products good, but we must remember that plastic has improved our lives exponentially, whether that is through the strong, lightweight packaging that provides convenience to our lives, or vehicle manufacturing, or improving your home energy efficiency through sealants and corks, or protective guards for competitive sports, or PPE for medical workers, or the plastic in your phone, tablet and desktop computer. The list of positive application goes on and on and on. Plastic manufacturing is a huge part of the chemical industry, and giants like BASF and Dow Chemical have been developing new and better ways to improve this product since its early days. Plastic sales in 2014 alone topped over $900 billion from the top 50 chemical companies in the world. And despite the endless use for this material, there is a problem. The large molecules that reside in plastic mean that it has a slow decomposition rate. This is something that was not initially thought to be an issue, but as the 20th century continued and more plastic was being produced that was not recyclable, it became apparent that disposing of plastic waste was becoming a growing concern. This chemical structure makes plastic resistant to natural processes of degradation. As a result, plastic waste has been dumped into landfills, tossed into the sea and scattered throughout cities and countrysides for decades, not to mention the chemical companies that have sidestepped regulations to dump plastic waste into the local water supplies. An estimated 1 billion tonnes of plastic waste has been discarded since the 1950s. Other estimates suggest a cumulative human production of 8.3 billion tonnes of plastic, of which 6.3 billion tonnes is waste, with a mere 9% recycling rate over the last 70 years. These figures are staggering. Even today, when recycling is part of your life now, the Ocean Conservancy reports that Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam and China dump more plastic into the sea than the rest of the countries of the world combined. As if this worldwide pollution isn't enough, these plastics have found their way into our food and water. There are traces of microplastics within your very body right now. It is impossible for them not to be. They were already being found in the stomachs of seabirds back in the 1960s, and the transition to the human body has been taking place over a long time. Plastic breaks down to a level where certain parts of their chemical structure will never degrade. These microplastics are in your cup of tea, in your bowl of soup, in the milk of your cereal and the pasta that you made last night. Minute traces have infiltrated every aspect of your life without you being aware of it. Some believe that this waste plastic also has an effect on climate change. Plastic contributes to greenhouse gases in the form of 850 million tonnes of carbon dioxide. That was in 2019 alone. Experts estimate that by 2050, plastics could emit 56 billion tonnes of greenhouse gas emissions. That is 14% of the Earth's remaining carbon budget. But we can't leave it to others to solve this problem alone. There are things that we can all do, and probably are already doing, to help. Recycling is so important, and many households have taken this on as a small part to play in the bigger problem. We have to remember that not all plastics are recyclable, and not all recyclable plastic is actually recycled. The UK has a questionable history of offloading our plastic waste onto other countries who just end up dumping it into landfills and the sea anyway. This is something that is under constant review, and the better management of this is developing all of the time. More and more companies are insisting on using thermoplastics that can be melted down and reused. Many companies are also opting to rule out single-use plastics in their packaging in favour of recyclable materials. And even the Earth itself is beginning to fight back. Microbial species that are capable of degrading plastics are constantly being discovered. Places such as Belize and Ecuador have found fungus, bacteria and microorganisms that can break down certain types of plastic over time. And all is not lost under the sea of plastic waste. Creative steps are being made to try and combat this global issue. We are now more familiar with words like sustainable, recycle and reuse. Scientists and innovators have been working hard on designs to find a solution to the common everyday plastics. Some of these recent innovations are edible cutlery. The discarded knives and forks from picnics and parties are ubiquitous. Rather than dump them in the bin, which you might as well just take them to the beach and throw them randomly on the sand, you can now eat them. Millet, rice and wheat were initially fused by an Indian inventor by the name of Narayana Pesapati to enable people to eat them. You can have different flavours, and there are now developments in the works for candy versions, which could essentially be your dessert having just eaten your main course. Edible packaging. Similar work has been happening on the packaging side of things also. Packaging can now be created from milk proteins that can be consumed along with your cheese sandwich. The only downside to this process is that at this moment they are expensive to produce. While that will improve with time, an extension of this idea has been used on packaging that degrades quickly within water. If you have used a dishwasher tablet or washing powder Powerball recently that dissolves during the washing process, then you have already experienced the start of this amazing evolution. Waste plastic homes. Conceptos Plásticos sounds like something you might hear on the Far Show, but it is in fact a company that has invented a way of creating stackable bricks made from rubber and plastic. These bricks can be used in buildings that need to be built quickly and are durable and affordable for those that need them the most. This forward-thinking project that has had some success in the Ivory Coast of Abidjan was recently featured in the New York Times. The women within this city were paid above the normal day rate to help create bricks that were then used to build homes and schools. Waste plastic roads. And this concept stretches to the construction of roads. Plastic bags and bottles can be reused to form the surface of the road. Scottish innovators have inspired Bristol-based thinkers to push this idea forward. Microfiber filters. I have news for you. Your washing machine hates you. One of the best ways to prevent microplastics from entering the ecosystem is to stop them at the source. Microfiber filters that have been modelled on sea anemones have been created to catch the plastic waste in your machine. Synthetic clothing sheds a lot of tiny particles during the washing process, and these filters catch it all before it goes down the drain. The filters are then sent back to the manufacturer who deals with them accordingly. This process is hitting the United States in 2021, and the rest of the world will follow. And here are a few more examples of sustainable products. 3D printed furniture, compostable seaweed straws, Carlsberg's sustainable beer bottle, Pizza Hut's re-engineered boxes, IKEA's 100% mushroom-based packaging material, and SharePak's reusable delivery containers. And some of these you might be using already. Reusable smart cups, bamboo straws and utensils, biodegradable composting bags, biodegradable water bottles, bamboo toothbrushes, rechargeable batteries, loose leaf tea diffusers, LED light bulbs, and finally, the quinoa, soya milk and sawdust based smartphone. Now, I made that last one up, but the rest are legit. Maybe we are not too far off though. With all of the creative thinking and innovation taking place across the world, we stand as good a chance as any of winning the war on plastic. Will it take time? Yep. Will we do our best? I hope so. We must, in order to ensure the survival of our planet and give future generations a fighting chance. I don't want my daughter to grow up thinking that crabs have yogurt pots for shells. We can certainly try our best to solve this issue, and the start of this is to change our thinking and behaviour. A small something that we are all capable of. But for now, as always, be good, stay safe, and be kind to one another. Blip, blip, blip.